This video is going to show you how to use the Microsoft Excel price book that we created to enter standard price information on products. A second video will show you what to do in exception circumstances when entering product information is a little more difficult and how to handle that. And a third video will show you how to use the price book after the product information is in there to get reports out to help you influence your buying decisions. Okay, so in terms of the mechanics of how the spreadsheet works here, you do notice that we now have alternating white and green row colors that help as your eye follows along left and right, and help as you scroll back and forth across these rows to see all the information for each product. One product per row here. The other thing that you notice is that we have some columns that have a gray background. Those columns are columns that contain formulas in them, and that means that Microsoft Excel will automatically populate those columns with information based on things that you're entering in other columns on that row. So because they are automatically populated with data for you, it means you don't have to interact with those columns at all, so no data entry is necessary in those columns. The second type of column that we have here in the spreadsheet is a column that has a drop-down list. When you click on a column, a cell in that column, you'll see that a little help message appears below the cell that you selected, and a little arrow here shows up on the right hand side. So it's telling you select a store from the drop-down list. So you click on the arrow to bring up the list and make your selection. It's strongly encouraged that you actually do make a selection from the list as opposed to typing in something different, because the standardization of the data will help, and also, like in this case, the selection of a store that the spreadsheet already knows about helps populate the address of that store. So we'll see later when we do the reports why it's important to have that standardization and why these drop-down lists are here. So we have columns with formulas in them, we have columns that have drop-down lists, and then we have columns like the date column where when you click on them nothing happens, and that means it's okay to just go ahead and type in whatever information that you want to put in there. You can use the arrow key to get out of the cell, or you can use the enter key to lock that information in. Either way will lock the information in. Okay, so let me pause the video, clean this spreadsheet out, and start totally fresh and enter a product in and see how it works. Okay, great. A nice clean spreadsheet. So let me zoom back into a place that we can see here, put it at natural 100% size. And okay, the first thing that I like to do is make sure that we scroll all the way to the top and all the way to the left, and start right here at the very top row. I always want to work from left to right when I'm entering data in the spreadsheet. So, date of purchase here. Okay, December 5th, 2017. I know that I can just type that right in. I can use my right arrow key to start moving over to the right and lock that information in. I can skip the store symbol. I can go to the right here for the store. As I get into the cell, I see that this is one that has a drop-down list, so I'm going to pick my store from the list. I'm going to pick the top one right here on the list, and yep, it knows about that store and it fills in the address for me, so I can continue moving to the right. In fact, I'm going to actually scroll to the right, and I'm going to hide that store information off the edge of the screen because I don't need to see it anymore. Alright, I'm going to move from left to right here. Like I say, it's important always to move from left to right as we enter product information, and it's asking me now for a category. So if we purchased, say, cucumbers, I'll do mushrooms next. If we do cucumbers, then I'm going to be looking for that in the vegetable category. It tells me it's a drop-down list column, so I pick my list and I see vegetables right here right away. But before I do that, I want to point out the fact that when I pulled that up, the list was already scrolled to the bottom. Why is that? I'm not so sure why Excel does that. Sometimes it scrolls to the top, sometimes it scrolls to the bottom. We have to be careful and realize that we may need to scroll to actually see the item that we're looking for. Another important thing to note is that Excel, for some odd reason, has put a bunch of empty choices here at the bottom of the list. That's certainly confusing. We just have to be, again, ready for that and know that we might have to scroll to see the items that we're looking for. But if we bought cucumbers, the vegetable category is appropriate, so you can choose vegetables and move to the right. Our help text here reminds us that only after selecting a category should we be here to choose a product type, and so I can click on this list and come down to cucumbers and choose that there. This is important because if I was on a different row and I hadn't chosen a category yet, and I had gone straight to choosing mushrooms, I mentioned mushrooms, and I click here, and I am clicking but nothing's happening, I'm not getting the ability to see the list, and I can't find mushrooms, and that's because I haven't chosen a category yet. Okay, so that's why it's important to choose a category. It's important to move from left to right across here. Okay, so let's go back to the product that we were working with. The next thing is product name. Now, cucumbers are pretty straightforward. I can put cucumbers in here again, and but it's important I spell those correctly, right? Because if I want to compare with other cucumbers, I need to spell it correctly. We can skip the product picture, the brand, particularly for this example. We can skip right over to the quantity. We can enter, we purchased maybe, say, 1 cucumber, and you can watch the unit price change as I go across here. I can do 1 cucumber. It's starting to calculate. It was 1 cucumber that I purchased, so I can type in cucumber. I can type in 1 unit or 1 each, or whoops, gotta spell that correctly too, or 1 item. Any of those are acceptable here. And I can put in a cost of, say, 47 cents. So I'm going to enter that in dollars as $0.47. And you see that when I do enter that, it's calculated the unit cost as 47 cents per unit. Per unit is an item or a cucumber. Now, if I had put maybe, say, pounds, if I had purchased 1 pound of cucumbers at 47 cents, and I put in pound and press enter, now it's able to calculate the unit cost per ounce as $0.0294 per ounce, knowing that there are 16 ounces in a pound. Or maybe if I put ounces here, it's 47 cents an ounce for 1 ounce, according to what I've entered here. Okay, so unit of measure is pound. I can keep going across. I can skip the UPC, the PLU. I can put in a sales price here. Right now, the sales price is the same as what the normal price was. But if, for example, these were on sale for, say, 28 cents per pound, right? We got per pounds over here. If it was 28 cents per pound, then when I enter that in, we're going to see our sale price drop down to 28 cents per pound, which is 1.75 cents per, or $0.0175 per ounce. And that's fine. And we could put in a sale start and end date if we want, and any other comments that we want to put in here. And those are all freeform entry fields. Okay, next video I will show you what to do if you can't find something in your list. In a following video I will show you how to use these the price book once you've entered a bunch of products.